Continuing the conversation on building a strong social media strategy, I want to talk about TikTok. Now, in my previous video, I focused on platforms that have been around a while, like Facebook and Instagram, and I think you should focus on those too. They are not going anywhere, whereas with newer apps like TikTok, sometimes they do come and go. Sorry, Vine. But sometimes it does happen, so focus on getting that foundation set up before you jump into the newer apps like TikTok. If you already have that strong foundation for your business, let's go into what I've learned over the past few months where I've had a ton of personal success using TikTok, and I found a lot of opportunities for businesses, personal brands, even side hustlers. Hi there, my name is Ryan Redoute. I'm a marketing consultant here in the Metro Detroit area, and I love helping businesses and brands navigate the complex world of digital marketing, which is honestly growing more and more complex each and every day. Which is exciting now. There's a lot of new stuff coming out. I want to let you know that you need to treat it like other social media platforms. The basics of creating social media content are out there, and you can use those same tactics with TikTok. There's going to be some changes, some nuances, maybe some more restrictions, but take all of those learnings that you gained on those social media platforms and start fresh on TikTok with all of those learnings. Imagine what you could do.
Imagine what you could do.
So similarly, with Instagram or Facebook, you want to be creating content consistently, and you want it to be under the same umbrella theme. You're going to want to do that with TikTok. I personally have struggled, and you might too, with having to stick with certain content, but on my YouTube and my TikTok, I found a lot of success with creating content around Michigan, and I personally love my home state, and I love the community it's drawing in, so I've been sticking with Michigan content, and that's what I've been really become known for on TikTok and YouTube. You're going to want to be using hashtags like you would with the other social media platforms. You're going to want to be creating quality content, and I'll talk more about content later on, but you want it to be with purpose. You don't want to be just creating stuff on the fly that's, not a good video, or maybe it's just a video of you sitting down. Like, you want to be putting the energy into each post like you would other social media posts. Similar to a platform like Instagram, you're going to want to be attaching your business and brand to trends and making it in your own way. Now, I will say the big difference I've noticed with Instagram and TikTok is that on Instagram, I am treated like 100 likes is like your gold. Like, you should be so lucky we gave you 100 likes on your post. Whereas with TikTok, it is like you can get so many views and so many likes. Now, do I question the quality? Sure. But you get a ton of engagement, and those people are being engaging, I've noticed, when I go live. So they have to be somewhat good quality, right? Which brings me to my next point about going live. I highly suggest you go live on TikTok. Use those added features that the app offers, because it's going to tell TikTok, this person's using a lot of our features. We should bump them up in terms of their reach, maybe. And I think that's kind of how the algorithm works on the back end, because for someone on Instagram, if you're using IGTV, if you're posting consistently, if you're going live, if you're posting to your stories, you're going to see a buildup of reach and engagement and followers. My next important point about TikTok is that you're going to want to be creating a community. I have found this through working with so many businesses and really trying to take some time to focus on how I'm developing my personal brand, that I need to be focusing on creating the communities that people care about, that these businesses care about, that the people buying from these businesses care about, because creating a community is really what makes social media so special. I found through making Michigan-related content that I found all these Michiganders that are part of this great community, and they all get very excited when I talk about wanting to bring the community of Michigan together, because I think ultimately the idea sharing, the connection sharing, I think is ultimately going to benefit us, and I think benefit businesses as well. So make sure you're going into creating content and creating a community on TikTok like you would other platforms, in that you're trying to get people together, entertain people, give them value. You want to focus on those same things. And if you weren't doing this previously, you're going to want to start doing that now across all of your social media platforms. Consistency is also very key, just as a side note. You're going to want to be creating a community and creating content around something you can create over and over and over again. Commit to it, because the longer you go, the more benefit you're going to see. As I mentioned before, creating content is obviously very important, as it is across all social media platforms. But there's a difference. With TikTok, I've noticed a couple things since being on for the past few months and gaining some more engagement. I've noticed a lot of people talk about one post of theirs that went very viral. Like it got 1 million views out of their other ones that just get 10 to 20,000. And this is actually what happened with me. One of my posts went semi-viral. I got 250,000 views on it. One post out of 20 or 30 that I've made went really viral. And I think this is TikTok's way of bringing users in, making them feel engaged with the platform, because it's giving them something that those other platforms stopped giving people, and that is a lot of reach. Because with a platform like Instagram, the bigger you get, the less reach you get. So TikTok's trying to almost be the reverse of this, of let's give them a treat, let's give them something that reaches a lot of people, and that way they feel like they're actually more involved with the platform. It made me feel that way. So I would highly suggest you go into every post, every piece of content thinking that's going to be the one that goes viral. If you do that, all of your posts will come out good. And on top of that, one might actually go viral. So you know that that one that goes viral is going to be a good piece of content that's related to your business. And on top of that, if you go into each post thinking that one could be the one, you're probably going to have a good feed, and people coming to your profile will like what they see. Tying in with something I said earlier, you're going to want to be going live on TikTok. You're going to want to be using those added features like an IGTV, Instagram Live, because it tells the algorithm, hey, this is a good person. They're actually like our platform. They're creating content. And I found that on my first time going live, I came out and I had 50 more followers, and people were being very engaging on the live show. TikTok did a good job of bringing people in. I was showing up on people's For You page, which in TikTok language is really just the main feed that someone is scrolling through. That is their kind of catered feed that shows them the content that the algorithm thinks they'll like. And it was just very exhilarating. I loved it. And so now I've gone live about 6 or 7 times, and I noticed that each one offers a little tidbit of fun and benefit even to building the community I'm trying to. For example, the first one I got more followers. On another one, I came out and one of my videos went kind of like jumped in terms of the amount of reach it was getting right after. So I think that the algorithm maybe put that out to more people, or more people saw it that saw me going live. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say, but I don't have the analytics yet. And I honestly might keep it a personal account just for now, because I think that TikTok is similar in that it will douse your reach if it thinks you're a business account. But I get a little benefit each time I go live, and on top of it being super fun. So my benefit personally and professionally is to go live. I also just love engaging with people. I've had people comment and say like, oh my gosh, I love your stuff. And it's good to get feedback on what you're doing too, because it not only motivates you, but helps you to create even better content for those people. Overall, I have just been loving the video platforms. I have been focusing my personal efforts more on these video platforms like YouTube and TikTok, and it's been really beneficial for me. I think I just enjoy making video myself more, and I think my personal brand does better on YouTube and TikTok, and for all you know, your business might benefit too. So I highly recommend trying it out. You could try it out with your own personal account, and then maybe start a separate business account on a separate phone, because I do think you have to be tied to a phone number, or maybe you make a Google phone number and pick a different phone number to be tied to the username. But I think that TikTok is offering something new right now, that if you watch this video and use these tactics and use everything you've learned from other social media platforms, you can really start building more reach, engagement, and more community with your business. And a special side note for the creators on TikTok, I personally don't get any ads on the platform, whereas my fiance gets a ton, and he creates no videos. So I do think that TikTok on the back end is maybe not serving ads to those people who are creating more videos. So if you don't like seeing ads, you could always create content and have that be your motivator for creating more content. But other than that, I hope you guys all have an amazing day. Feel free to comment below if you have any questions about anything I talked about, or shoot me an email on my business website, which I've linked down below. And let me know if you want to learn more about TikTok. I've been posting it on my LinkedIn, my whole journey from when I only had 400 followers until now where I'm at 3,200, and everything I've learned throughout that. So follow me on LinkedIn if you want to see more from that. I'm going to continue posting, and I'm going to keep talking about TikTok on here probably, because I just love it so much, and I'm really surprised at how great it is. And honestly, it's a very entertaining platform just personally. So I recommend getting an account regardless. And on top of that, I hope you all have an amazing day.